Metropole Sports Center. My name is Nashon Owano and we are here to talk about matters the English Premier League. We are going to be talking about a pre-match analysis of Manchester United versus Liverpool and Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Now, I'm joined in studio today with the man himself who called himself the Arsenal spokesperson in this part of the Sahara, that is Simba. Simba, welcome back. Nice to have you here once again.
Nice to have you here once again, man. I'm happy to be here. Wow, why am I repeating your words? Wow, wow.
I think you're taking the spokesperson job.
That's it. I'm taking it seriously.
Yeah,
I'm the one who invites people to talk about Arsenal.
Yeah.
But it's great to be here.
Okay.
Great to be here.
Simba, very quickly, your reflections on the game that was played this past week, that is Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Two things I wanted to get from you. Our defining person, or the person who changed that game for us, was Alexander Lacazette at the dying minutes of that game. I know you've always been one of the people who has had mixed emotions in terms of the performance of Lacazette in the Arsenal squad, but were you impressed by his performance in that particular game?
He came in as a sub. He gave us a last-minute goal, the dying minutes of that game. But can you say that he changed it? You say that he scored. You say that Lacazette scored.
Yeah.
Right? You'd expect that Lacazette would actually get a score. That was his first goal for this season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And wow, he didn't start the season well. We do know that he had corona. That's according to Arteta. Has not really coming back into that squad. The few matches that he's played, he's not really been the Lacazette who cleared last season. But yeah, Lacazette, unfortunately, is now become a squad player at Arsenal. I don't like it, but he didn't change the game. He came in and scored. It's a good thing that you would have players who come from the bench and give you that score line. And Lacazette is there. We do know that he can score if you give him those chances.
Yeah.
And they score.
Do you think he should start more often than he started at the Arsenal versus Crystal Palace game? You know, we have the Aston Villa game coming this weekend. Do you think he should start or he should come in as a sub the way he did in this particular one?
He should come in as a sub. And I'm saying that painfully.
Why, Simba, why?
I'm saying that painfully. I'm saying that painfully because then Lacazette is not really being the man that he was towards the end of last season, you know. And he's not started the season well, to be told. He's a big game player. We do expect that once we play a big team, he'll come in and score, but no. Now, if you look at the players that we have who can actually get to play in that position, I'd rather we don't have him in the starting lineup because then we've not seen what he can do. And once you have the likes of Smith Rowe in that team, also have the likes of Saka in that team, who might unfortunately not be there in tonight's game, but they were playing tonight. Wow. Interesting. Once you have the likes of a Pepe playing in that team as well, you like to think that probably he might miss a starting position going by the players that you have in that team. But then in a big game where you need surprises like the ones that he gave against what team are we playing? Yes.
Crystal Palace.
Wow, Crystal Palace. What's wrong with me against Crystal Palace? Indeed. Then you have Lacazette to come in and give you that kind of performance. But against these other lesser teams, and we do expect that he'll play as well. And you saw his performance when we're playing in the other competitions. It's quite good. He will give you goals. But for me, have him on the side. When Aubameyang is failing to hit the goal, then you have Lacazette on the side to come in and help him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we cross over to your general feelings on the Arsenal versus Crystal Palace game, our main man, that is Patrick Vieira, was the coach of the Eagles, and looking at how he was standing at the touchlines and the amount of frustration on his face when Lacazette scored that last-minute goal, why was it important for Patrick Vieira to win it at Emirates this past week?
I don't know why it was important for Patrick Vieira. What's wrong with you, Patrick Vieira? I mean, okay, let's get it. Arsenal legend, given.
Yeah.
Came to Arsenal, Crystal Palace is it's not even helped Crystal Palace. Let's talk reality. Crystal Palace have had, for lack of a better word, just hot and cold season. I mean, how many? They failed to win in a couple of matches. Biggest team they beat was Tottenham, and that was it. It was good that Vieira actually was able to come in and beat Tottenham. But looking at him, he's looking at this Arsenal team. He's looking at the manager on the other side, that is Arteta. He's a guy he's played against actually. When he was playing for Everton, Vieira did play against Arteta. He's looking at him and saying, wow, 50-50, I'm coming in to actually try and win this game. He needed it more than Arteta needed, to be told. That win would have meant more for Patrick Vieira than would have meant for Arteta. And that's why, for me, on the touchline, you could see how much that final goal.
He had invested his emotions in that game.
And he was winning it, to be told.
He actually was.
He was winning it.
Yeah.
Until Lacazette came in with that solution at the dying minutes of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting you mentioned there that Crystal Palace were actually winning this particular game. Truth be told, Simba, I'm an Arsenal fan, but let's just say the truth. Crystal Palace outplayed us in some levels.
Why would you say that?
No, I think they did. If you look at...
Stop saying that.
They did, Simba.
Okay.
Here's why.
Outplayed Arsenal.
Here is why.
Give me your reasons. Give me your reasons.
My reasons why they outplayed us at some point in this particular game is at some point they were able to have their key man, that is Gallagher, at the midfielder, who was able to choke the ball from getting to the front team of Arsenal. So even looking at the way they played, once they got that ball, they seemed to have that will to win more than Arsenal.
I don't like when people say they seem to have that will to win more than Arsenal.
Why?
Here's the thing. They did not win. But, okay, listen. You do not expect Arsenal to give you this similar performance match in, match out. No. You don't expect Man City to give you a similar performance match in, match out. No, of course, at one point, your form has to vary within the season. Actually, even depending on who you're playing at each particular game, isn't it? Now, this is the way that I look at it. The officiating of that game was quite dismal. That referee should never actually be allowed to step in the field again. Look at the goals that we considered from Crystal Palace. Mistakes from both parties. Partey was dispossessed in the midfield, and Lokonga was also dispossessed. That's why we actually scored. Now, if you look at that analysis and then you say, who was supposed to win this game? Stupid mistakes from Partey, just lack of concentration and lack of concentration again from Lokonga. That's why we actually were scored by Crystal Palace. But then you analyze the game and then say, Arsenal fought till the last minute, even when players like McArthur were supposed to actually be given a red card, but they did not see it, and did not lose that game. Now, you go back again for 6 games and then say that Arsenal have not lost a game for 6 good games. That's a good run of games in the Premier League and outside the Premier League as well. That's when you say, maybe Arsenal did not lose that game, and probably Crystal Palace did not beat Arsenal. That's the way that I'm looking at it.
But the reality, Simba, is we lost a lot of chances. I mean, shots, we had like 17 shots.
Tierney should have scored it, not score.
That was
should have scored. And Smith Rowe as well. Should have scored it, not score. This is how I look at it, Dasha. Young players. And Tierney, young players who are rocking up that experience. And I will tell you, Smith Rowe is a very good experiment in the process, isn't it? He's going to start scoring. It's gonna, because if you look at exactly the tries that he makes and the near goal chances that he actually has in each game, you say, should he adopt some sort of composure and actually say, well, I'm going to do this game to score? He's going to start scoring. That's what I'm saying. Tierney as well. Yes, you can take something out of his game. Sometimes it gives out because he is an attacking-minded player and his defensive ability is also not so bad. He's actually good. Then you say, if this experiment starts working out, Arsenal are going to be untouchable. That's what I'm saying. I
think one thing that they kind of like need to have is the instinct that Aubameyang has at the goal line. Because even if you look at some of the goals that Aubameyang sometimes scores, he just has that, you know, a knack for scoring goals, which I think should be replicated to all the players that are in the Arsenal squad.
But that comes with experience, isn't it?
Yeah, that comes with experience.
That comes with experience. So let's give them good time. We're seeing exactly what we're doing. Let's give them time. They're going to start clicking. They're going to start clicking.
Okay. Simba, switching gears away from matters Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, we have a major game taking place That is Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Looking at the squad that played against Crystal Palace very quickly, what do you think Arteta should change from the lineup going into this particular game?
Is Xhaka coming back? Because then I'm thinking that only if Xhaka is coming back, that midfield should start with. I'm not saying should have, should start with, because Xhaka is also a player who can give you a very good performance in one game and then fail to give you the same performance in the next game. But the few games that Xhaka and Partey are played together, you saw what happened against the Tottenham, isn't it? That's it now. I mean, Xhaka, if he's coming back, then they should start with Partey in that midfield and then give Lacazette a chance again today, because I think he might give you the same solution that he actually gave you in the other game. Other than that, no, don't change, because I think we are now, we know now. We should start our game. That's why it's very easy for me to answer that question. That Xhaka should come in, Lokonga should come in as a sub. And probably do not start Pepe. That's it. Okay. Let them come in as subs.
As an Arsenal fan, I'm sometimes not confident enough with Granit Xhaka in terms of his tackles. Because he seems to be, I beg your pardon, he seems to be usually rough or lack of discipline. Because he'll make some crazy tackles and you'll be like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell
is going on? That's fine.
Like, but you should focus on the ball.
Look at it like this, though. Look at it like this. Partey would give Xhaka the stability that he needs. Because Partey has got that role. You're supposed to defend that midfield and make those runs and those forward passes that Xhaka, most of the times, will hold on to the ball and probably make a back pass, which is not really that good for our games. So for me, when you play Xhaka and Partey in that midfield, then Xhaka will play forwards, because he's a very good forward player. He's a very good forward player. So if you take the stress off him that it's actually you who's going to do that defensive work, then his game becomes sort of relaxed. And we saw that against Tottenham. It really worked good for him. Yes, couple of launches here and there that are questionable. Maybe that is part of his game. But then when you have Partey and Xhaka playing that midfield, then you're looking at Xhaka and saying, Xhaka, you don't have to do the dirty work most of the times. Your work is just to play forward, make those passes tick, supply those passes the likes of Aubameyang and Smith Rowe that are flanking you. And I think that's why or I know, Partey and Xhaka should start. If they start in that midfield, and I don't know whether Xhaka is actually okay, then indeed we're winning.
Should your boy start, Albert Samba Lokonga? Should he start?
This is it. He's a good player. I mean, amazing player. I can't wait for that experiment to work. I'm looking at Lokonga in the next like 2-3 seasons. They're going to be the Vieiras of the Invincibles. But here's the thing. When you have Xhaka and Partey, then you'd rather start with Xhaka and Partey, and then when you feel like you need to introduce fresh legs, or when you already know that you have the stability in that midfield that you need, then you can actually get to bring in Lokonga. But why not? If he's there, I've got no problem with him starting. But if you look at exactly what Xhaka and Partey have been able to do when they're playing together, you'd rather start with Xhaka and then introduce Lokonga later on in the game. Or you say, Xhaka, you're going to come off the bench and come into this game if I don't have that stability. But when you look at Lokonga and Partey, same game. So why start Lokonga and Partey? Substitute them if you can. But I'd rather also Partey clears that game because, that vision, man, and that stability on the ball, you need it throughout that.
In another episode, we should talk about how fantastic and visionary the passes of Lokonga are in terms of finding, crisp, beautiful passes that I always fall at the foot of whoever.
My new fans should be listening to this right now. They have got nobody in that team who can do that. If you want Lokonga, just come in with 80 million. We can lend you that for one season.
After a season, I think his price is gonna go up.
Of course, man. That the stability on the ball. When you watch Lokonga play, you feel like you just want to pass the ball to him. So you see his vision and it plays like he's got some elasticity on the ball. That's a word I never get to use most of the times. But Manu fans, listen, it's not about just knocking the ball. It's about how you pass that ball.
And understanding who it is going to. Simba, quickly switching gears from Arsenal versus Aston Villa. The other game that is going to be played this weekend is Chelsea versus Norwich. Chelsea seem to be having a problem. That is their big man, that is the bully, they call him the bully, Romelu Lukaku got an injury in their game this past week. Timo Werner is also out with an injury. How do you think the absence of Lukaku is going to affect the scoreline of this particular game?
But Lukaku has not been scoring in every game, is not. The good thing about how it's fared on now, Lukaku's first game was against Arsenal. Quite a pity. He bullied Arsenal. He dictated the game. He dictated every move they made in attack. Then in the next game again, you will see that he was doing that. But now let me tell you why I do not think Chelsea should be worried. Well, they're playing against Norwich. Fine, not a very strong team, but tired legs from Champions League. That's a thing they should worry about. Be wary about that. And Norwich are the participants now in the league. They might hurt you if you're not really that careful. My only worry is that now they don't have a striker. Because the strikers are Timo Werner and Lukaku.
Yeah, I saw Nani was brought into the squad, Kai Havertz. I don't think he's played this season that much. But he was introduced into the squad. Timo Werner has also been is also out because of injury. Do you fancy the lack of Werner in the squad is going to affect that much?
Well, Timo Werner is a useless player. I don't think Chelsea would miss him. I mean, they would rather have him or not. But I think for me now, Tuchel is quite an experienced coach. He knows very well that he doesn't have his strikers going on that game. I think he might play a front three. We saw the performance of the Mount and Kai Havertz put in the Champions League game. I think he's looking at those players and then saying, can you give me the same answers that you've given me? Because if you look at Mount and Havertz and the Tuchel, they've been the most scoring. They have 6 goals among themselves, isn't it? For me, when I look at that, I'm saying they actually do have an answer. They don't need a striker against Norwich. But then, Norwich knowing that very well, they might go in and actually give a go at Chelsea, because then they know these guys are going to use maybe a front three. They don't have the main man. So if you mark those 3, then you're good to go. You might have something against Chelsea. They might struggle to get the goals, because we know in the league, they actually brought in Lukaku to give them the goals. But then, against Norwich, I think they have answers in that squad.
Simba, there's something we have to appreciate. We have to appreciate the fact that Chelsea manager Tuchel doesn't seem to be having a problem with his squad players. A shortage of,
that team has a depth.
He doesn't have a shortage of players.
Chelsea has a
we are going to touch.
depth
We are going to touch on that. We are going to compare Tuchel's ability to switch in players when you're talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer later on. But for you, you've already mentioned that the performance or the possible formation that you could go for this particular game. Your predictions for this particular game, Chelsea versus Norwich.
Chelsea are going to struggle to play Norwich, because Norwich have been, actually, if you look at the past matches that Chelsea has been playing against Norwich, it's been quite an entertaining game. If Norwich click, they also have a corner the whole season, which is good for them. For me, I'm saying Chelsea, yes, might win, but with a small margin, maybe 2-1. Get it for Chelsea.
Arsenal versus Aston Villa.
Of course, we are going to win. We can't keep on drawing. It's going to be 3-1. Aubameyang has to score. Yes, Aubameyang has to be on the squad.
Lacazette from the bench.
Probably Lacazette might come from the bench and fail to score, but Aubameyang has to score as well. I actually need him to score, so that this talk about Aubameyang not being the best striker in the league can stop. He's the best so far.
Now we quickly shift gears into the sports fact segment of the show, where I'll be giving you some of the interesting things about different cadres of sports that you didn't know about. And today we are going to be talking about the Europa League. Now the following are just some of the things that you did not understand about the Europa League. Now the winners of the Europa League keep the trophy for a year before returning it to UEFA. After its return, the club can keep a 4/5 scale replica of the original trophy. Now, IF Göteborg played 25 consecutive matches in the UEFA Cup between 1980 and 1987 without a single loss, including their 1981 and 1982, and 1986 and 1987 winning campaign. That was an impressive streak in such a major competition. Now, the Europa League was known as the UEFA Cup until it was renamed recently, that is in 2009-2010 season. FC Porto was the first team to win the UEFA Cup, as it was known then, in 1987, and then finally in the 2006-2007 season, Spanish club, that is RCD Espanyol, lost a single game in the entire tournament. When we're talking about a winning streak in such a major tournament, reminds me of the time that Arsenal took the English Premier League trophy without losing a single match throughout the season. But that's a conversation for another time. We do take a short commercial break. After the break, we're going to be back here with Simba to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Cristiano Ronaldo, and also touch on a few about the Tottenham game that is going to be taking place this coming weekend. See you after the break.